Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gravity with Sakshi. Today, I have with me an interesting personality, perhaps a friend who inspired me a lot of doing something like this on my own. And uh, we have Faheem Bhat, guys, for you.
Hi, Sakshi.
Hi, Faheem. How are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I'm so good. So, Faheem.
It is so odd for me because I usually sit across that seat and I take interviews of people. And I was not ready for this, right? But then now that you asked me to come here and talk about my journey, I was like, "ठीक है, let me give the people that follow me a sort of a get to know about me." So it's a great opportunity. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for coming here for me. And that's the main point actually to call you here to do this conversation with you. Ki everybody knows a certain person ki हाँ Faheem but there's a guy who does podcasts and all. But nobody knows about your things, your point of views and all. So first thing, कैसा लग रहा है आज reverse?
It's a good feeling. I must say it's a good feeling. Matlab, I'm a bit nervous sitting in front of you, but it's a good feeling.
Okay. So I've read about you कि आपने college drop out किया था. How was your childhood and what are your plans growing up? And then suddenly this happened. कैसे हुआ?
Nobody has plans growing up, of course. But the funny part is that my childhood from my home it was good. I had a very lovely, my nani's place. That was the best time of my life. The only thing that I remember is about my nani's house. मुझे लगता है दैट वाज द बेस्ट टाइम ऑफ माई लाइफ मैं स्कूल से निकलता था फिर नानी के घर जाता था और फिर बस मेरा ममेरा भाई होता था और मैं हम बहुत खेलते थे दैट वाज द बेस्ट टाइम उसके बाद जब ही नानी गुजर गई तो फिर ननिहाल ख़त्म हो गया एंड एवरीथिंग वाज ओवर एंड फिर उसके बाद आई स्टार्टेड आई वाज अ वेरी रफ किड यू मस्ट से
Rough?
Yeah, people don't know that, but I was a mohalle ka don kind of.
Oh
Not
my God.
don, but yeah, I used to hang around with people who were like dons, if you may like to call them that.
Be-
18 years, 17, 14 years old. Anyways, so uske baad I was like not very good at studies. I did not really have a great school life. I think I have hated my school life a lot.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I really did not like the teachers that were there. They were teaching, of course. And not that I'm being disrespectful, but the truth was that they were really bad at what they were doing. In a sense that rather than sort of, if I would have gone by what they have said, probably I wouldn't be here right now. है ना? मतलब, I don't want to say this, but there was a time when I was in my there was this educom class जहाँ पे उस time पे the educom classes were like a new thing, like you were shown in front of a TV and then it would play your chapter and there was like a new thing back then. So I was talking a bit and there was this teacher, I don't want to say who it was and what it was. She stood me up and told me कि why are you making nuisance? It was English class and she said,
Okay.
what is the definition of verb? And I did not know. I said the definition of noun, and the whole class laughed at me. But then, 2 years later, I was a best-selling author, and I signed a book for her daughter. So it's I'm not gonna be pompous about it. कि मतलब ठीक है ये हो गया. मैं बहुत lucky था. When I did my 10th, after that I went into something called junior engineering. So it's called JE. So what you do is you don't study 10th, 11th, 12th. You straight go for this degree for 3 years and then you join BTech for 3 more years.
Okay.
तो I went there. मतलब वो एक period था एक साल का उसमें entrance होती है. I really don't know the terminology right now, but I cleared that. And I went into a college because मेरे वहाँ पे बहुत cousins थे. And I was like happy about the fact कि अब मैं इनके साथ जाऊँगा because they were my घर के friends भी. But then पहला दिन college का and then they all went to their own places, है ना?
Oh, yeah.
And I was left out alone. I could not stay in the college for like more than 20 days.
20 days?
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I just knew it then and there that it's not for me.
ये तो बहुत कम था.
Yeah, I just knew it then and there it's not for me.
But yeah, life has its own plan.
No,
actually.
I mean, I definitely did make stupid decisions. I went to my mother and I told her I want to drop out. I want to write a book because इस period में ना जो मुझे एक साल लगा था ना this entrance exam का उसमें मैं बहुत अकेला पड़ गया था because all my friends were now in 11th, 12th and my cousins were going to their colleges. So not cousins, mostly my friends, bunch of other people. So मैं बहुत अकेला पड़ गया था, तो मैं किताबें पढ़ने लगा था.
उस टाइम टीनेज में ये सब मुश्किल भी होता है, तो जब आपने अपनी मदर को बताया कि
No, no, no.
you're
I'll tell
playing.
you this. Because how I got there is because I used to call some of my friends who used to read books and they gave me a book. It was called Alchemist.
Okay.
I read that book, it changed my life. I mean, not changed my life, but it got me introduced towards books. Then I read bunch of books and then I fell in absolute love with books. Matlab, it changed my life. It got my vocabulary so well. I got to know about fiction, non-fiction, bunch of other things. 1 year later, I wanted to have my own book. I wrote my book. I went to my mother. I said, "Dekho, yaar, I'm gonna drop out." And she was like,
क्या रिएक्शन था उनका?
"I don't know. She is one of the most calm women I have known." है ना? So like she was okay with it. It was surprising for me, but she was okay. She wasn't okay with it, but she was okay with it.
बट समहाउ माँ लोग
My father
मैनेज कर
made a
लेती
lot
हैं.
of nuisance,
या
which I don't want to talk about right now. But theek hai yaar, I did my book. I wrote it. There were some really good people who helped me publish it, and I published it. And in that process of publishing, मैं हर किसी को मैसेज करता था कि hey, I have a book coming. Would you like to read few lines of it?
Okay.
फिर मैं भेजता था.
to get the reviews and all.
No, not the reviews. So that then the plan was that I would tell them, "Did you like it?" They will say, "Yes, I loved it." Then I would tell them कि you'll be the first person when it comes out. और मैं वो copy paste सबको करता था.
अच्छा.
And I had thought in my head कि ये तो 3,000 लोग हैं, 3,000 किताबें तो बिक गई. I'll be very rich. And when I launched my book, complete failure, disaster. It failed for 3 months. Then I met a guy. He was heading a newspaper called Tribune in Kashmir.
Okay.
A very interesting person, became my mentor for a long time, still is. He got my book launched, and then life changed. I was on every newspaper. I sold so many books. I became a best-selling author.
So इतनी कम एज में जब बेस्ट सेलिंग ऑथर बने, तो what was your experience, your state of mind that
I
time?
got introduced to a lot of money. मैं उस टाइम पे 18 साल का था और मेरे पास बहुत पैसे, मतलब उस टाइम पे वो बहुत लगे थे.
Okay.
और मेरा दिमाग फिर गया था.
दिमाग फिर गया था, तो अभी अब ठिकाने पे है या नहीं?
हाँ, ऑब्वियसली अभी तो इट्स बिन, तब तो मतलब इट वाज न्यू. आई वाज फेमस then. I got my Instagram verified in 2019.
Really?
And अब तब वो 700 रुपए का नहीं था. So it was like, it was a big
तब
thing.
मेहनत से मिलता था.
It was a big thing back then. It was like really influential people could get it. And I got it. And like life entirely changed, man. Life just changed. I mean, then after 6 months, I started my publishing house, which is Liper Publications. And after that, I started. Then Liper Publications was itself a very big thing. It became a very big thing. And it perhaps became a very successful venture. तो उसमें in between इतनी चोटें लगी ना कि फिर जमीन पे आ गए.
अच्छा, तो सडनली ये बुक से पॉडकास्ट का कैसे सोचा?
I could have either paid influencers a lot of money to promote what I was about to launch. That's Lipo Books, my app. So it was a bunch of money, and I did not have that. So the only way to get the crowd towards my app was to get famous yourself. तो मैंने सोचा कि खुद ही famous हो जाते हैं. And I don't think anyone has had a journey like that. I mean, I have blown everyone away. Not me. I mean, it's God's giving. But I have a lot of people who are rooting for me. A great team. Great team. Honestly, they've given so much. I did my first podcast. It got 10 million views combined. I did my on Instagram, not on YouTube. I'm yet to crack YouTube, but yes, we will do it once we get,
of course,
peace of mind. अभी तो हमारे पास peace of mind भी नहीं है. But when I did that, when I did my second podcast, third podcast, none of my reels were below 1 million. And the highest went for 45 million. Then the next one with the one you did a podcast with, Lovely, it went to 59 million. So
and it's still growing.
It's still going, yeah. Life changed. I got so many connections now. I met a lot of people.
So आपको क्या लगता है, आप जो आने वाले जो टीनेजर्स हैं, जैसे बहुत सारे हैं, वो भी सोचते हैं कि नहीं, अरे यार इस बंदे ने कर लिया है तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ एंड ऑल, और क्या लगता है फ्यूचर को लेके उनको आप कुछ एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे?
तो असल में मुझे क्या लगता है ना कि ट्राई तो हर किसी को करनी चाहिए. Fail on your own terms. I really believe in that. If I'm failing, because I chose to do something,
Yeah,
और वो नहीं हुआ, I take all the responsibility.
of course.
But if the failure is coming from something else or someone else, then I have a dispute with that. I'm going to raise my voice about that. But if I'm failing on my own terms, then I'm okay with it. So if I was somebody, I would try. I would really try again.
So fine, being your friend also, I really want to know कि इतने time में what your thoughts about relationships and all, or did you had any, and what do you think about all these things?
See, I usually ask people such questions. Now I'm feeling awkward answering them. But what I have understood is that you should really just have one person in your life and give everything to that one person. Nothing else matters. I'm telling you, you can meet, you know that I have a lot of listeners right now. I would not like to call them my fans because I don't even know if there's any fan of mine. But I have a lot of listeners. And a lot of people still, they think that they are in love with me just because of my whatever, my videos, my looks, whatever. It's camera is fooling everyone, of course.
Of course.
But keeping that in consideration, I have had a privilege to be with people who never took that seriously, who knew me as a person as I am rather than it getting to my head. So I really believe in finding someone to die for and just die for them.
So you believe in soulmates then?
Of course. Any day of my life.
So did
Any
you
day.
find yours?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. So Fahim,
Love is the most dangerous thing in the world. It honestly is the most dangerous.
it can make you do things you can never imagine also ना. आप कभी किसी के लिए हो सकता है वो चीज ना करें, या आपकी जो भी लिमिट्स हैं, you cannot always push them for like everybody.
There's a line, Sakshi, which I religiously believe in, that इश्क खाक न करते तो खाक इश्क हुआ.
It's very nice, very true.
Love is something love is worth dying for. Just find the right one and die for them. It's okay. The world will be against you, be it. हमारे पॉडकास्ट पे आए थे जय भाई, और उन्होंने कहा मुझे वो बात उनकी मुझे कभी नहीं भूली कि अगर तुम्हें सच में मोहब्बत होगी ना तो तुम एड़ी चोटी का जोर लगा दोगे. You will go against the world if you are really in love with someone.
Yeah.
If the whole society is against you or anybody, even any adversity is there, if you are really in love, you'd walk a mountain.
What if कि आप किसी से प्यार करते हो, आप उसके लिए सब चीजें कर रहे हो, लेकिन अगर दूसरी साइड भी कोई ऐसे लोग हों, या कई सारे लोग होते हैं जिनके लिए चाहे घर वाले हों, दोस्त हों, कोई भी हो, समाज, रिश्तेदार, ये सब उस चीज के अगेंस्ट होते हैं, बट प्यार तो आप दोनों से करते हो, तो आपको क्या लगता है
I would leave
क्या
every-
सही है क्या गलत है?
मोहब्बत सही है. देखो घर वालों को तो मैं साइड पे रखूंगा इसमें, बाकी जो भी आपने कहा ना, डजंट मैटर. मोहब्बत के सामने कुछ भी नहीं बड़ा है. मोहब्बत सबसे बड़ी है. और मोहब्बत ऐसी चीज है ना कि भले ही अभी सारे लोग अग्री ना करें बट इवेंचुअली कर ही जाते हैं. This world, the world we are living right now is not a very strong, tough world. They change their opinions like this.
Yeah,
you
in a
get famous
snap.
tomorrow, everybody is your friend.
Yeah, actually that's very true. अगर आपके पास वो सब कुछ है जो सामने वाला चाहता है या देखता है, तो उसके नजरिए आपके लिए हमेशा चेंज हो जाते हैं.
Always.
It's universal truth and so hard. I mean, मैंने बहुत सारी चीजें एक्सपीरियंस की हैं, देखी हैं लाइफ में. थोड़ा अभी ठीक है इतने टाइम में भी, लेकिन ये एक ऐसी चीज है जो हमेशा मुझे अंदर से.
Life is not fair, Sakshi.
लाइफ
Stop.
इज नॉट फेयर. सो फहीम, आपका मेंटल हेल्थ को लेके क्या नजरिया है, क्या लगता है आपको?
Mental health is the most important thing in the world, because if you get stuck in a one-sided relationship or expectations, one-sided expectations can ruin your mental health. It just puts a person who is the most jolliest person in the world, it puts them on the ground and people come and beat them.
Yeah.
You have to take care of your mental health. Believe me, nothing else matters. Matlab, I have seen people who are extremely wealthy. They have everything in this world. But due to some people that they love, it affects their mental health. And they don't care about anything that they have. उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है उनके पास क्या है. They only care about the fact that
और मुझे भी यही लगता है कि इंसान घर के बाहर या दूसरे लोगों से लड़ भी सकता है, भिड़ भी सकता है, बोल भी सकता है, लेकिन जब बात अपनों पे आती है और अपनों की आती है तो वो किसी से कुछ नहीं कह सकता। वो जो अपने अंदर सब दबा के रखते हैं वो आपको मेंटली इतना ज्यादा परेशान कर देते हैं कि एक एक टाइम के बाद आप झेलते जाओगे, बट एक टाइम के बाद वो आपको इफेक्ट करेगा और वो बहुत ही गंदा करता है।
Of course, of course.
सो आई होप कि किसी के साथ ना हो,
We all
बट
should take
या
care of our
या
mental health.
श्योर।
There is very less time, which I know, but I could have gone on and on. But you know, we have to be somewhere.
या
So, but yeah, it's an interesting topic. I can just sum it up with this line that one should take care of their mental health.
So Fahim, before this podcast comes to an end, I would really like to listen some of your favorite quotes, please.
ये जो खो के बैठे हो मुझे किसी और के लिए, वो भी तुम्हारा ना हुआ तो क्या करोगे?
Hi. So Fahim, I would really want one more from you.
कि मतलब की दुनिया है, फरेब का जमाना है, दिलों में नफरत है, मुंह पे याराना है.
Oh, so true.
But Sakshi, since you're starting your journey with this whole thing now, and I was very excited. I remember when you first time called me and said कि मैं मेरे podcast का नाम Gravity with Sakshi रख रही हूँ. I was like, interesting name. So I know this will go on to reels, right? So आप बताओ ना अपने एक दो quotes.
So I'm very like touchy with my mother and I saw कि आप भी अपने माँ से बहुत अटैच हो, तो मैंने एक जगह पढ़ा था और वो मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी लाइन, क्योंकि लेडीज को ऐसे बहुत ज्यादा हमारे यहाँ मेनली और ज्यादा जगह पे छोटी जगहों पे इतना ज्यादा नहीं बोलते हैं, तो पागल है, ये है वो है। तो मैंने एक जगह लाइन पढ़ी थी कि पागल औरत है, जिंदगी भर ये सुनकर भी उस औरत ने घर को घर बनाया है, पागल खाना नहीं।
वाह, so true.
मेरे खानदान से मेरे हालात नहीं मिलते, खून तो मिलता है पर ख्यालात नहीं मिलते।
Well, usually इस point पे मैं end करता हूँ, so why don't you end it?
Thanks Fahim for being here. It was really fun conversation.
Same here. I loved it. Maybe we could have gone a bit more, but ठीक है. There
Yeah,
are other
maybe.
people waiting.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, sure.
That's better. We just end it. Thank you so
Okay.
much for calling me.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this podcast. I hope you really like it.